Yo, what's up?
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Bro, what do you think? This is a full stack? So I get a DM. People told me, if you want your babe come back, you get the jack. You have to do full stack. What do you think? This is full stack? Is it good enough?
Hold on, you got a DM about a full stack.
Full stack.
To do what?
To get jacked up.
I think, you know what? Let me just join you, man.
Yeah? It's a full stack, yeah?
Yeah, it looks like a full stack. I mean, you're trying to get big.
So tell me how they work.
Let's start from the top to the bottom. All right?
Go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Cheers. Cheers.
Hey guys, Derek Fay here with my boy Phil Heath in Miami.
Beautiful Miami. We're doing major things. We got a new project. This man right here with Generation Iron. You check my man Derek Fay out.
Check out Generation Iron, guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Generation Iron Podcast. Your host, me, Victor Martinez, Ehsan Farahi, Vlad Yudin, and this week we are missing Edwin Mejia. Miss you, bro. We'll see you soon.
Just got back from Miami. Probably my second favorite city in the world, maybe, right? I don't know.
Wow.
What's the first, man? I hope
I would say New York.
All right. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Still New York.
After New York.
Even though it's in the rubble, people still wearing masks. I don't know why, but
They're still good, man.
people
Yeah,
still
they're
doing
still
it,
doing
man.
it.
It's like a cult now. It's like a whole cult.
That's crazy, man. Now when I see somebody wearing a mask, it's like I'm concerned because I feel like they're sick and they want to like not spread it, but I don't know, you know?
When I see them wearing a mask, I say thank you for not,
Breathing on.
breathing on me and, exploiting me with your bad breath.
Yeah,
So how was the Miami?
bro.
I saw someone next to you,
It
bro.
was beautiful, bro. So we were filming there with Derek Fay, a very big entrepreneur, and we got a chance to spend a day with Phil Heath.
Nice. How's Phil doing down there?
He's great, man. He's so happy. He lives in Florida now.
Oh, he moved to Florida.
Yeah, a
Nice.
couple of years ago, I think now.
Nice.
Yeah, I think first it was Texas, I believe, no?
No,
no,
Denver.
always Florida.
No,
He used to live in Denver.
He is living in Denver.
It was so from Denver to Florida. So he never
Yeah.
did the Texas
I don't
thing
think so,
like
no.
everybody else.
I don't think so.
All
That's
right.
why they usually go to Texas. And
Nice. You saved yourself, Phil. You saved yourself.
But he's so happy, man. Happy with life, living a
7-time
great
Mr. Olympia.
life. I know, man.
Yeah.
It's funny. Remember our first episode that we were talking about if we made him look like a villain in
Yes.
the film?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we always talk about
So you guys had a conversation about
we spent a whole day like on the water actually on a boat, and it was a great because I never really get a chance to spend that much time with him. It's always like
that was beautiful boat, bro.
Yeah,
It's
it was very
huge.
Hold on. So you're on the boat, you're
Yeah.
talking with Phil, nice weather. I gotta ask.
Yeah, what?
What you guys drinking, man?
I was actually not drinking anything.
What?
And I
I
wasn't
can't believe.
Damn, bro. Better have something to drink. I'm
I
on
can't
the boat.
believe Vlad not drinking.
Because what are you trying to say, bro?
No.
I was drinking
Are
Red
you
Cup
working?
One, bro. I was working actually, but I can't really say what we were filming yet because it's
Yeah.
gonna come out later. But he was very happy, and it's great to see him like that. You know what I mean?
Oh, you have to be happy living in Florida as a straight man, you know?
So
you
let me
have
ask-
to, you know?
Are you filming specifically Phil his or someone else Phil his in the movie
He's
too?
part of he's
part of the movie.
for sure, yeah, definitely. And Phil is like he's looking to expand his business empire, so he's doing a lot of different things right now. But
Nice.
how do you think Phil What kind of legacy do you think he left as a competitor on the sport?
Well, as a competitor, I mean, he came in like a bat out of hell. I mean, pretty much took over.
Right.
Pretty much took over, and it was just like, you know, it was just him. I mean, who was really breathing down his neck, chasing behind him? I mean, Sean
Kai.
Roden,
Kai,
and
Sean
after him,
Roden.
that's it. I mean, Kai, you know, that was a good, you know, rivalry.
Yeah.
But I think he's leaving a great legacy, man. You know?
And he started very strong. I mean, I think after third Mr. Olympia, he became champion.
Yeah.
If I'm right,
After what?
after third Mr. Olympia,
Oh, yeah.
he became
Very
champion.
quickly, right?
Yeah, very quickly. It's like Jay Cutler. I mean, Jay Cutler didn't be champion, but he become to the number one, number two.
No, I think it's great. I mean, to come out with 7, I mean, guys were dying and guys are still dying. They never even got 1.
Yep.
So, you know, and unfortunately, you know, talking about dying, you know, we'll bring up, you know, a few guys that
Gustavo
we lost.
just passed away. Yeah?
Gustavo Badal, rest in peace.
Gustavo Badel, man, you know. Uno,
You compete with Gustavo a few times.
Yeah, one of the top Latinos to step on the stage in the Mr. Olympia Arnold Classic. I shared the stage with him many times. A lot of people misunderstood, you know, like most of us are, but mostly him because people always misjudged his anger. And I always say, you know what? You guys don't know Latino guys when you see that anger. It was more his passion, his hunger, his tenacity to always do great. And I still remember the time backstage, I believe it was one of the Arnolds, and they're making us, you know, we having call-outs and second call-out. And I think they start calling him and I around the third or on the second shuffle. And, you know, we go backstage to come back out in another lineup, and he comes up to me. He's like, yo, Big, man, what's going on, man? They're not calling us Latinos, man, you know, for first call-outs. What's going on? I go, I don't know, man, but I'm going to cut my losses, and I just want to go eat pizza after this. You know, but he goes, no, I'm going to say something. I want to do something. So his passion, I always understood it, but I was just too always laid back. He was very serious to a point that he just wanted to, you know, be understood when he spoke to you, and that's all he ever did. And never had a, you know, bad moment with him.
Yeah.
Only great on the stage, and he always made you push.
The good memory I have for
You've met him?
Mr. 2 times, but for Mr. Olympia 2004, the challenge round,
Yeah.
Now, what is it exactly?
he beat every top
won, man.
5.
What's the challenge run exactly?
So 2004, they bring new
I think
rounds.
they had it for 2 years only.
2004 and 2005.
Yeah, it was a
yes.
flop after that.
And then
Yeah.
they take it off. So basically, they bring the top 6. Number 1 and 6 comes, and number 6 ask number 1 which pose has to be posing for
Yeah.
judging. So I remember the first round was him and Gustavo.
Yeah.
Vic and
2004, yes, 2004.
No, I did 5. I did 2005.
5 or 4?
Yeah, you know, because 4, I got 9th, so I never made it to the challenge round.
2005.
Yes, 5 was my first challenge round, and thank goodness they took it out by 2006. It was such a drag. It was just like, Jesus, man, like, what am I
Yeah.
doing
So
here?
you go pose for pose, like
Pose
one
by
specific-
pose.
Yeah,
And
so
then-
each one of the top 6 calls out a pose of anybody that's left over of the.
And I remember my press conference before show, asked Ronnie Coleman, are you okay with the challenge run? And he said, is it still bodybuilding? And if it's still bodybuilding, I'm okay. But he beat Ronnie Coleman too by challenging, right, for triceps pose.
Yeah, side tricep.
Side
Still
triceps.
remember.
And Ronnie couldn't handle it.
I know.
Wait, so
I know.
Gustavo beat Ronnie?
Gustavo beat Ronnie Coleman.
It's basically the person who carries, you know, that particular pose that the challenger calls out. You know.
Well, what's the point of that? So let's say you beat him, and then what? It's just
So they give
it's
them
like a bonus?
Get a point.
$25,000 additional for that
Oh, wow.
person win the challenge.
It's not bad. Better than 10th place, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. So Gustavo,
And that year, Gustavo became third of Mr. Olympia.
Yes.
Ronnie Coleman was the last Mr. Olympia Jay Cutler second, Gustavo third.
Yep.
And everyone talk about how, I mean, as a ranking wise, Gustavo could be 5, 6. But because of the challenge run, he goes to third.
Interesting. So he passed away just, a
Yeah.
few days ago, and he's 50 years old.
50, man, only
Yeah.
50. So young. I mean, again, this is sad news because,
Very sad.
I mean, you report most of it, other guys that have passed. And it was only a week after one of the big social media following guys.
Joe Linder, yeah.
Joe
Joe.
Linder, yeah. So it's a
Rest
sad
in
week.
peace, yeah.
And I remember when I got the news that night, I didn't feel like getting on social media because when you hear stuff like that with somebody you share the stage with, you freaking
He was
struggle,
young, bro. He was
dehydrated.
30.
Oh,
I'm talking about Joe Linder. We're talking about Gustavo right now. But Gustavo, anybody knows what happened?
Gustavo.
we don't know, and
don't know.
at this point, it's kind of like it's just bad altogether, because I'm looking at, my friends are celebrating all 50 this year, a lot of them. 50 years old, 49, 51, and one of them I was just looking at was Stan McQuay, and I'm like, cool, I'm just kind of looking at him, celebrating 50, and then a few hours later,
Another
Gustavo
friend.
passed away at 50. It's that weird feeling like, man, he should still be around, should still be celebrating his next half of life. Especially
What's
after
been-
body.
He wasn't look like Jack like before. He's actually shrink.
Yeah, he came down,
he was-
streamlined, still
Yeah,
in
he
shape.
looks very normal person. He wasn't. I mean, my point. He wasn't on drugs, because right now everyone say because of drugs. But
I was gonna
he
say
stopped. He stopped more than 10 years, almost 12, 15 years. He stopped. Last
Bodybuilding.
competition he competed was 2007. I believe 2007 Arnold Classic was
What
the
has,
last
what
competition.
has he been doing after retirement? Did you keep in touch with him? Or-
He had the gym. He had the gym in Puerto Rico.
He was doing. I know he was in Puerto Rico for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was residing at the point, but I know also he was doing a lot of seminars in the
Yeah.
Latin American countries, Central America, Mexico. So he was.
Yeah, he was head of the bodybuilding industry in Puerto Rico too.
He's from the original.
He was the number one Puerto
He
Rico.
was
to
born
go.
in Venezuela.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
And I think the story goes Venezuela did not support the bodybuilding as they should have. They have a lot of great athletes in Venezuela. Shout out to them. And I believe his wife is Puerto Rican, Boricua. My condolences to her. The kids, yeah, beautiful kids. And they adopted him in Puerto Rico, so
Yeah.
he represented Puerto Rico, hence the name. The freaking Rican, man. He will be missed. And again, he was just one of these very
Very
passionate,
Very
strong competitors.
Now, Joe Linder, who was only 30 years old.
30, which is like
30 years old. Now, he's from Germany originally. He lived in Dubai, I believe, right?
Yes.
And he died. The cause of death, I believe, was aneurysm, right? It was a blood clot. Right?
Blood
Something-
clot.
yeah,
something
say
like that.
aneurysm.
yeah, blood clot. 1 month before he died, every day he comes to the gym to tell people, my neck is hurts. It was
Joe Linder said.
Yes, that was not his neck. It was clouding blood was in neck. That's why he felt pain in his neck.
But the sad month we're having, right?
Yeah.
Two-
Sad
two
month,
prominent
man.
names.
When
Yeah.
I saw, I don't know.
Last week was very sad. I mean, 2 bodybuilder, one of them huge in Instagram influencer, and one of them is one of the part of the Wider family basically
Yeah.
die, and this is sad and this is unbelievable.
And right away, again, it's like a bodybuilder dies, drugs, steroids, this, that. You know what? If a musician dies, say the same thing. If an actor dies, say the same thing. Bodybuilders are not the only ones that are taking stuff. At the end of the day, they're doing stuff based on their sport, and everybody else does something based on their recreation. So it's
There you go.
one of those double-edged swords. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Loss of life, it happened, and condolences
Condolences.
to both families.
All right, Vic, you ready for the question of the week?
Yep, let's go. Who do we have? Who's the winner?
So you picked a guy named Jacob Anderson, 9262. So Jacob Anderson, 9262, you are the winner of the case of Redcon One Energy. And now Vic is going to answer your question. All right, so Jacob is saying here, my question for Victor and the rest of Generation IN team. Injectable L-carnitine. I've heard great things about it. I've heard great things about this amino acid. However, the oral form hasn't produced noticeable results. So he's been taking the edible. What can be shared about injecting L-carnitine, dosing, and protocols? So Jacob.
Well, again, I mostly use the supplementation amounts, just twice per day. And I know people that have used the injectable. And you know what? I'm sure I have too, but I don't think I've done it as long or on a cycle basis.
What's L-carnitine?
Yeah, it's one
of the fat burner.
It's a fat burner.
One of the fat burner supplement in the market. I like the supplement, but I don't like the injectable.
Well, injectable, I know a few people, a friend of mine in particular, loved this so much. He was doing it constantly all the time, He was older, kept his body fat down, he felt good. But he also got a flush color. I will always see him kind of orangey from injecting it. And again, I'm not going to say he looked bad. He actually looked pretty good, But he looked pretty good. Not a tan. He looked like orange Ruffy. You're leaking, man. You're leaking now. But he actually looked pretty good. But, I believe injectable carnitine is not really legit in the market. It's underground.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
It's under. I believe the injectable L-carnitine is from the animal. It's not from the human. I mean, the liquid which is for injectable is from the animal. The farmer using the horse tracker.
Yeah, L-carnitine is for animal, EQ. I mean, Trenbolone. I mean, what else?
Suspension.
It's suspension. It's like
Stanozol,
Winstrol, all that stuff again. But they do sometimes they make it for animal, and then they find out human consumption works just as good. Keeps your body fat low. I mean, you can stack it with ECA stack. It's good. I mean,
but supplement is work. You don't think we do? I mean, we don't need injectable, Supplement
you don't need injectable,
work.
but it's a more direct feeling, and you get that flush, feeling like you're almost burning that fat. So people like that reaction. It's almost like that pre-workout,
Yeah, very fast active.
Yeah.
Hold up a second. So this guy wants to actually inject an animal fat burner into himself. That sounds like a crazy idea.
The mostly steroids, what he said, is for animal. Mostly steroids is for animal. He's right.
So it's not that crazy.
Side effects are low, but you still get, again, other than that real color. I mean, you won't see it in a darker complexion, but if you are kind of your complexion, you're gonna look like, like a freaking red snapper.
Wow. Hold up a second, but so he didn't see results when he was eating the stuff. When taking the oral.
Yeah, because you take a lot of the orals, you know how it is when you take the multivitamins and everything else. They'll always say you excrete more than 50% of it. Mm-hmm. That's why a lot of this IV therapy is going up. A lot of people using it because you absorb a higher amount. Again, you're still going to excrete some of it, but you absorb. I think the absorption is at least 60 to 70%, as opposed to ingesting it and breaking down through your liver and all that. So, it does have its effects. The problem is we don't know, and I'm not gonna bullshit you, bro. We don't know the exact amount of how long you're gonna run that actual injectable cycle. You can do it for a short period of time to achieve a look prior to a show. I didn't hear anything about you competing.
He didn't specify none of that.
Yeah, none of that. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Again,
but he's asking for protocol and dosing. What's the dosing? Is that dosing?
Again, it's one of these things that you take at your own risk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm not going to give you a dose or anything because
it's not a medical advice, guys.
Again, when my friend was using it, I know he was doing 1 vial per day in the morning to last him throughout the day, and he would do this for weeks at a time. And again, he wasn't a competitive bodybuilder. He just used it, loved the feel, loved the flush look,
I'm not recommended that. Supplement is work. Take supplement.
Yeah, why do you need injectable fat burn? I mean, what is he like?
That's what he said. I mean, more fat burning, fast, active.
Over the counter fat burner, right? I mean,
I mean, you're better off using ephedra and combining it with even clenbuterol, they make injectable. It's just the tabs are just so much easier to manipulate. You can just take.
We have clenbuterol injectable too. He's right.
But it's pointless again because you're just gonna get the shakes and you're uncontrollable. And when you get too much,
you start
clenbuterol, you start to shake and you get weaker. Actually, you're not as strong in the gym. That's why
you cannot lift.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
They make you weak basically because they're using too much inside your body for burning. You don't have energy.
Do you think it could be an adverse reaction to L-carnitine, like besides the flushing or whatever? Like, do you think you can die from it? Like, is this a dangerous thing or no?
Anything can be dangerous, bro.
It's gonna cause some organs, to act up. I don't know, or just diarrhea.
All right, Jacob. Well, I hope that this answers his question.
I hope this answer didn't answer your question because I was just as confused as you hearing injectable carnitine. I consider it a why bother. If you're going to inject something, let it be worthwhile.
There you go. So, guys, more questions for Vic? Please write them in the comments below, and hopefully you'll pick it, right?
Yeah. More underground questions, please. Carnitine, really?
$1.
$1 of Radcon One.
Radcon One Energy.
There you go. All right. So Chris Bumstead, he was on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, I think, and he made a comments about Trenbolone. He said, just remember we did an episode of Trenbolone. You call it the crack of steroids.
And I still do it and always will.
Right.
So what did he say about this? I want to know what he said because everybody was saying in Generation 9, that's not true. It's not bad. It's good. Yeah. What did Chris say? I want to know what Chris say. He's got 3 million or 6 million followers, whatever it is. Yeah. I want to know what he said.
So basically he said that it's the most toxic steroid ever to ever exist.
Oh.
And there you go. And he said he stopped using it 5 years ago and he abandoned it 5 years ago. That's what he said.
Oh, he stopped?
He stopped 5 years ago. So he won't always,
Tren. I don't believe that, but
you don't believe Chris?
I don't believe he stopped for 5 years, but I agree with him.
Well,
5 months maybe.
Yeah.
Well, he said that it's the he confirmed what you said basically. It's the most toxic thing ever.
It is most toxic. Again, what he said.
Anything that reacts that fast in your system, fast results. You're strong. You get hard. You get crazy, and of course what it does to you mentally, aggressiveness, and all that. I mean, it's not good, That's why I refer it as the crack of steroids, So like that 5-minute high from crack, 5 minutes, boom, you're high. What'd you do? Nothing at all.
Yeah, weed is better.
Well,
weed is better.
You use a Primo, something that's really, breaks down slower. You really get to train, less toxic to your system, and it's just, I'm not, train.
So why you guys don't believe that he stopped for 5 years?
Because he say he doesn't believe.
Because Tren make the body is hard. It's one of the is very fast, active to make your muscle get hard. And if you look at the Chris Bumstead, every year he become harder and harder and harder. So one of the very famous drugs in the market that make you hard is a Tren. I don't believe 5 years he's not touched it.
So
it's my opinion.
I did some research, right? Some basic research, and I wanted to find the safer alternatives to Trenbolone, right? And the 3 substances came out. I want to know your opinion if those are actually as good as Trenbolone.
Like to hear there's a safer alternative to Trenbolone.
Okay, so ready? Okay, Trenorol.
Sounds natural to me.
Have you heard about Trenorol? Anybody?
Trenorol.
It just sounds natural, is it?
I have no idea. Just a substance.
Trenorol.
It sounds like Decabol. Like Decabol over the counter at GNC.
Trenorol. Okay.
So there's always a bowl.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard about it, that means it's probably like some nonsense, right? In my opinion, right?
I mean, they always try to, the mark is a marketing scheme. where you kind of get the drug name, the actual drug name,
You change like one letter.
and then you change one letter and you make a supplement out of it.
Yeah.
And you kind of almost gravitate towards it because you're on trend, you lost your hair, you want to still have the feeling, and you gravitate to this, you grab it, you think you most likely buy it once, maybe twice, but it's going to stop because you're obviously going to realize I'm not getting.
But it's not Trenbolone.
Yeah, it's not trend. This Trenbolone is not trend. You know, I tell you what. You know what? The easiest and best alternative to trend is it's just trend, but don't inject it. Rub it on your chest.
What? I know you're joking about that, bro. All right, check it out.
Who has to love? Who has to love?
This
Do it yourself.
There's two more substances that are healthy alternatives.
Okay.
Anvarol.
Anavar.
Another roll.
Anvarol.
Another old. Avro sounds like a bootleg Anavar.
So bullshit, basically.
Anavar. I believe Anavar is safe. Anavar is kind of you can't tell this 50% like a trend, 50%, yeah.
It's health. It's just the drug and the healthy alternative. I mean, is there a healthy alternative to chemo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there? I don't know. Is there? You know, it's like you have to get that drug to get the actual effect. I mean, if people are still using Ozempic. Is there going to be another Ozempic? I don't know. You know,
L-carnitine.
L-carnitine.
Injectable cards.
All right, last one is Decaduro.
There you go.
Decaduro.
Decaduro. That sounds
Same
like one of the guys' nicknames at my gym. Yo, Decaduro, spot me.
That's funny, bro.
I'm telling you,
That's a
bro.
good nickname for
I'm
someone.
telling you, that's somebody's nickname in the Dominican Republic in the patio gym. I'm telling you. He's Decaduro, bro.
So I guess they took they took all these names and just made like.
Yeah, and again, it's marketing. It's still geared towards, you know, getting the kids.
I have a question, Victor, for you. Do you think is it good to not using Tren at all, which is the Chris Bumstead he said?
Listen, when you're young, again, that you have, you know, obviously, no. I'm going to say no. But if you are going to use it, I'll say, you know, try not to be, you know, over 35 bracket. You know, over 35, you know, you're younger, you're clean, you don't drink, you don't take anything else. Your entire body is balanced as far as your blood work goes. I mean, you know, if you're going to do it, make sure you're okay. That's it, you know. But if you're one of these aggressive guys already, have anger issues, you're asking for it, man. You're asking for it.
Yeah.
I knocked out a few people on Tren. I admit that, you know. Statute of limitations right now. They can't sue me. But
Tren destroyed liver too.
not a statue like trophy, but statute.
Tren actually destroyed liver. I mean, that's why they say
It's just toxic.
maximum 30 days. Maximum
Take for 30 days and then
30
get off of it.
days. I mean,
Well, most guys that are using it right now, who boast about it, who have social media and take it,
Yeah.
these guys don't even compete.
oh my God,
They
that's
don't
bad.
compete. You
That's
know?
bad.
They're gonna get shut down. They're gonna get, you know.
It
most
doesn't
likely-
bother you to someone in the gym don't want to compete and using those drugs? Doesn't bother you as
Not
a
at
professional
all.
bodybuilder?
No, not at all. That's
Because
their problems.
those people makes you guys look bad, you know?
No, because they're the same guys that are using, you know, look jacked up. They're in the gym. They're looking at me sideways like they're better. And I'm like, dude, you're getting f***ed up. You don't even know it.
Yeah.
So I just kind of, it doesn't matter. You know, for me, it doesn't matter because they're here now and most likely they will not be in the gym 3 to 5 years from now. These guys are moonlighting workout guys. That's it. They're just moonlighting. It's the fad of being in the gym at the moment. They're on the stuff. They feel good. They feel powerful, but it's going to crash and burn. It's going to come, and I'll still be in the gym, and you will no longer be there. So I'll be using the bench all for myself.
There you go.
There you go.
So Vic, we're 3 days away from your show. How do you feel?
Yeah.
legend.
It's great. So much planning. I mean, so much promotions, you know. I got to say thanks, you know, to all my sponsors, you know. I mean, it hasn't happened yet, but thank you to all my sponsors. I started off with one, which was a friend of mine who just said, you know what, here's this money. I think the show is going to do great. And fast forward now, we have over 10 sponsors,
This is the 3 years for this show or 4?
Didn't have it for 3 years, man.
4 years.
For the pandemic.
That's a long time.
Yes.
Man. Damn, I felt lost.
Yeah,
And
I
it's,
know.
tried to have it last year, but it was too many glitches, and universities were still asking for, vaccine cards. I said, I don't want to touch that. I didn't want to deal with that, So I took the L on that. But, everybody just came in. I mean,
Good for you, man. Good for you.
yeah, man, this is great, and I just want to give this platform for the athletes, and like I said before, this show, I call it Legends because we're creating legends. I mean, guys have won this show. I think Joshua Rodriguez did the
Nice.
show. He won. He became pro.
Yes.
My friend.
Especially this year, you said athlete could get the sponsor.
Yes, there
Amateur
also going to be
athlete.
5 sponsorships by MHP. They will select the athletes. It will be announced. We're going to make it fun. We're going to announce it the following Monday. So they won't know on the actual day, because MHP is selecting, who they're going to sponsor. It's not, the coaches or
judges.
The judges. This is MHP themselves. I'm not going to butt in on this. It's for them to market their supplements. One of the top, since 97, one of the top supplement companies there. And they're going to be there, man. They're going to be there, and they're going to select who's going to win. And this is something different because usually it's in the pro ranks that you get a sponsorship.
Exactly.
That's crazy, man.
You'll
good
be able to get sponsors
That's a great look.
as an amateur leading well into you becoming a pro, hoping that you do want to continue.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well,
Yeah.
submit your questions for Vic.
Yeah, submit your questions next time for the podcast. Please, you'll get the case of Redcon 1. And we'll see you next time at Generation Iron Podcast. Please tune in to iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you get your podcasts to see all our prior podcasts, and make sure you like and comment on YouTube. Till next time.